Meeting order. I want to welcome everybody tonight. House Andrew, lead us in the
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we got a full agenda tonight, and first item of business, we'll approve the minutes of the regular town board meeting on June 11th. Motion by John. Second by Robert. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, next, we'll open a public hearing on no parking at the Circle parking lot in the Warrensburg Upper Hudson River Management Area. Also, request to set speed line on River Road at 25 miles an hour. And we're not going to deal with setting the weight limit on the road tonight. We're just going to talk about the no parking and no speed limits. So, Pam, you want to read that notice?
Notice of public hearing on the proposed local law to amend chapter 198 vehicles and traffic of the town of Warrensburg Town Code to regulate vehicles and traffic on River Road. Please take notice that the town of Warrensburg will hold a public hearing at the Warrensburg Town Hall, 3797 Main Street at 7 p.m. on July 9th, 2025 to hear all persons interested on the matter of adoption of a proposed local law entitled A Local Law to Amend Chapter 198. Vehicles and traffic of the town of Warrensburg Town Code to regulate vehicles and traffic on River Road. Please take further notice that a copy of the proposed local law is on file with the town clerk's office. Please take further notice that all persons interested in this subject will be heard at this time. June 19th, 2025.
Okay, so I'll open this public hearing up. Anybody wish to speak to the board tonight on this public hearing? Come up and please state your name for the record.
Hey guys, how's it going? Jamie Johnson, owner of Tubby Tubes in Lake Luzerne. I just wanted to personally come and introduce myself, put a face to the business. Here to work with everybody. Hardworking gentleman. I own Adirondack Stream and off exit 24 and purchased Tubby Tubes in 2021. And basically just wanted to say hello. And if you have any questions for me at any time, I can look to meet with you guys, talk to you guys, and but just here to work with you guys. And thank you very much for letting us use the road out there. And that's about it. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Anybody else wish to address us tonight on this subject? We just need your name for the record.
David Bury. I'm a resident of Lake Luzerne, and like plenty others, I've used the day use area in north of Warrensburg, like that area, for my entire life. Learned to swim, camped, cooked out in that area, so it's important to me. And I understand adopting this will inconvenience the company, like the rafting companies that frequent that area, but the congestion there is just unbearable. The limit of the size of vehicles to 8 tons is incredibly important because it's returning safety to the area. Over the years, it's got increasingly crowded, unruly, dangerous. It's one small lane dirt road. That's it. And there's over 8-ton buses driving that road, and it's riddled with cars along the whole way. The tubing buses are stopped for long periods of time, blocking the roadway completely, and it's led to confrontations. And it's just that there's parts on the roadway that are getting washed out. There's trees falling into the river. 2 weeks ago, a week ago, a tree fell into the river and it was closed for days. So I understand it'll inconvenience tubing companies, but tubing companies should not be above the interests of the safety of the people. And there's several other places that they could put in Warren County. And I just feel like this is something where we should put the safety of the people above tubing companies. I have a petition that was signed by over 50 people that support this, and I hope you'll consider that today. I'd like to reiterate my support of the law, and I hope the safety of the public will take precedent over business. Thank you.
Please give the clerk a copy of the,
Thank you.
Thank you.
anybody else?
Hi, my name's Jamie Roselle. I'm actually the manager of Tubby Tubes River Co. So I just wanted to come up and state, our guests love coming out and seeing the Hudson River, and they have just as much of a right out there as everybody else. All of our bus drivers are employed by local schools, primarily Queensbury and South Glens Falls. We take safety as the biggest priority. We go out, we drive out, we have speed limits that are far below the posted limits of anything that's out there. And we have a dedication to safety. And when we go out there, we take about 15 minutes to unload. We're pulled over completely. Cars can pass freely. We are mindful that we don't own the place and everybody else has a right to access out there. I know that everybody, hates on the tubing buses at times, but we pick up a lot of garbage and we love bringing guests out to the area. So we employ a lot of people and we take a lot of people down the river, but in a safe manner. And we want to continue to do so since we've been doing it since 2002. Thank you.
Anybody else tonight? Any of the board members?
No, it's just that, you table a little bit, need some more thought about additional. use of
Yeah,
marijuana.
we want to compromise with both facets of it. We want to see the rafting companies be able to continue to run their business, but we also want to focus on safety. I think we're going to, if the board allows me, I'm going to go over there with our deputy highway superintendent and see if we couldn't make some parking areas for the buses off the road. And while they offload their people, and then I think they move down to pick up the people. We think we could keep the buses off the road somewhat. Now, as far as the washout goes, we're aware of the washout. There's not a lot we can do about that because there's so many restrictions on if you can cut trees or put anything near the river. Our highway department went over there, did the best job they could after, we have to get all the permits through DEC. I understand where you're coming from. I've been over there several times, looked at the road, and we're gonna try to come to a compromise that works both for us and the rafting company. The town did some work over there probably 3 or 4 years ago to improve the day area. And we want to work with both parties and make it safe. And obviously, it's out of our ballywhack. It's kind of out of the way over there. We don't get much. And when the forest rangers brought it to my attention, we had one meeting in Luzerne where we talked about it. And it is fortunate. It's very narrow. It is a good place in the river to put the rafts in. If you look at it, it's kind of where the coming around the bend where you get the rapids a little bit pushes them down. I wish it was as easy as asking them to move, but it's not, because everything we deal with on the river, we have to deal with DEC, and they're not easy to deal with. So
this recommendation was from the state, right?
Hmm?
The recommendation was from the state, right? To
No.
close down.
It's our record. The state came to us about a near incident over there a year ago where they couldn't get through and it was very congested. So we went over there and looked at that. Does it make sense to line that road with no parking signs? No, it'd be a waste of taxpayers' money
Yeah.
because the signs will disappear going to the road. Can we do something about our parking area? Yeah, we can do something about the parking area as long as we get some buy-in from somebody.
There's parking areas up there now though, and I I've avoided that area in the summer completely because I know what it's like. So now we go in fall, we go in winter. It's a great spot. It's an amazing spot on that river. But it's just that it feels like it's just.
We've been promised enforcement. Whatever actions we take over there, we've been promised
Sure.
enforcement by the state. That's the only way it's gonna work. But I still wanna work with the rafting companies.
But we have to take into consideration the fact that we've been promised, you know what I mean? We've been promised these things from the state and they drag their feet on it, and this is still an issue that's existing.
We're gonna take some sort of action, but we wanna work with the rafting company to come out with a suitable solution to them being able to keep running their business, but also the safety angle. And-
Well,
and, you
there's
know,
a few businesses there. There's a number of tubing companies.
Well, we're gonna work with them. We're gonna get their timetables, to see if we need to come up with a schedule or something else. But I do believe in the parking area, if we can work something out with them, it may work. I mean, I'm fully okay with putting no parking signs where people shouldn't park. And as long as we get the enforcement from the forest rangers, which they have promised enforcement. We set the fine at $125. You know, that's nothing to sneeze at. I mean, that will get people's attention as long as they do it. We'll put the signs up. We'll go to DPW in Warrensburg. They'll send to New York State DOT, see if we can get a speed limit reduction on that road. You know, it's gonna take time.
My understanding is there is an alternate access to the river.
I'm not really sure about that, something I'd have to look at.
Not on that specific stretch of road.
Yeah.
My
Well, there
understanding
may be
is that there is
something
an
down
alternate
below.
access.
But like I said, we're gonna try to work with all parties concerned and see if we can't come out with something reasonable. That's the way I feel about the rest of the board members.
And the state's just dead set against letting us widen out the parking areas or?
Well, I think we can do something at the parking area, but you can't touch the road. We've been over there, you can't widen the road, you can't cut a tree, you can't do
Yeah,
anything.
it's pretty hairy.
Yes,
Pretty hairy.
especially around that outcrop where it sticks out, so
Yeah.
I'm aware of the area, so. We're gonna try to work with everybody to make this work, but keep the number one thing is safety is our concern. It's the rafting companies. We've had a good conversation with them about it also. So, anybody else?
Yeah, if you're concerned about safety, then there's portions in that road where two cars can't pass each other. Somebody has to back up. So if that's the case, then it's all about safety, and it's not about the bus company or anybody. No, we need to close the road completely to all vehicles, period. That'll be safe, keep everybody out of there, all the vehicles out of there.
Well, there's a difference between a Dodge Neon and a full-size bus.
That can't pass each other.
There's a difference between
There's a safety concern there too.
There's a difference between a passenger vehicle and a full-size bus. You understand that?
A Ford Dually is about 8 feet wide and a full-size school bus is.
Yeah, I don't want this to get out of control.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah,
address the board.
absolutely.
Everybody address the board.
There's a middle ground here for everything, but it's.
We understand that.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Anybody?
Yes, parking, look at, entertain the idea of putting small parking up there.
I think the fact that we're having a dialogue about it, it's gonna get everybody on their best behavior over there. And we're gonna start working together and,
Oh, yeah.
maybe the incident level will go down. And, so we know that we did the same thing with our vacation rental businesses. When they started to get out of hand, we had to come in and stack them down a little bit. So that's what you guys that are making money on it, you gotta be on your best behavior. Jim's up.
Yes, Jim, I won't make you walk.
And not necessarily, I don't care what you do. You can put up all the signs you want or put ads in newspapers. The only thing that gets results of people is the enforcement you apply. You get the results out of what enforcement you put into it. I don't care what's the speed limit on Main Street or driving people no parking signs with it. If nobody writes any tickets, nobody does anything, they take them to court and they fine them $10, you're wasting your time. You gotta have enforcement to take care of an issue, no matter what the issue is.
And if I'm not mistaken, a young man passed away on that stretch of road as the result of a tubing incident one of the buses were driving around that corner. And I went to school with the family of that. If I'm not mistaken, it was on a bus. They were driving that.
Yeah, I know there's an accident, but it wasn't there. It was in a different stretch of the highway. I'm not sure, but this is about safety. We understand it's about safety. And I promise you, we're gonna work to try to alleviate at least the Warrensburg section. I know Luzerne is working on their own section of it. And if we don't get enforcement, what we're doing tonight is a waste of everybody's effort. But I
Sure.
think we've been told that we will get enforcement by the force rangers. So once we make our decision, whatever the board wants to do tonight. Okay? Is that it?
Yeah, I mean, something has to be done,
Okay.
it's brought to our attention as public safety, so
All right.
we'll do something.
Then I guess we'll close the public hearing, and then we'll move on. You're welcome, everybody's welcome to stay, but we're gonna go through the rest of our town board meeting. Next, we have bid opening on resurfacing and painting basketball courts at the recreation field. I asked the clerk to read the notice and then read the bids.
We have two notices here, but they basically say the same thing. Okay. Notice to bidders, Town of Warrensburg. Notice is hereby given that the Town of Warrensburg is requesting bids to paint and line 2 basketball courts to include the following. Court number 1, approximately 78 by 53 feet, which is 4,150 square feet. Court number 2, approximately 4,760 square feet. 14 by 72 laneway to visible seam outside the white gate equals 1,000 square feet. Okay, so paint the courts red with green free throw area, center circle 2, white stripes around the sidelines, 3-point area free throws and center line circles. All work needs to be done per standard layout for free throw, 3-point and center circle specs. Sealed bids will be accepted at the Town of Warrensburg, on Main Street at the Town Clerk's office until 4 p.m. June 11th, 2025. Oh wait, that was June. We're in July now. I'm sorry. I grabbed the wrong one. I grabbed the one other one. But basically, that's what it's asking for the paint. And then we have resurface, same court sizes. And this goes to mill, shim, overlay existing basketball courts, remove loose and broken asphalt, cover existing cracks with Tetra Tech self-adhesive membrane prior to shim course. Number 4, finish layer to the 1.5 minimum thickness type 7 asphalt from Hudson Falls Peckham. And again, it's all for today's board meeting. Town of Warrensburg reserves the right to accept and or reject all bids and waive information and minor irregularities in bids received as the best serve and interest of the Town of Warrensburg specifications. Okay, let's resurface. We have resurface paint and line the basketballs. We have a bid from E&T O'Connor Construction. Resurface is $49,978.52. And paint and line was $23,356.69. Total $73,335.21. Second bid was from Carver Construction, Inc. Resurface was $52,174, and paint and line was $20,000. So the total is $72,174. The next third one was HMA Contracting Corp. Resurface was $46,560, and to paint and line was $27,100. Total $73,660.
Okay, so you have 3 bids, very close.
Don't we technically have 6 bids though?
Well, you do, if we were to split them, I guess, we asked them that we split, right?
Mhm.
So, yeah, we have 3 on painting and
3.
3 on resurfacing. So what's the pleasure of the board?
Just quick comment from Bob. We're going for the lowest,
Lowest responsible bidder,
so,
yes, you need to go with the lowest.
but if we broke it out, it varies because they bid on resurfacing and they bid on the painting. So if we
There
did
were
it,
2 separate bids.
Yeah.
You would take the lowest of each. There might be 2 different people.
that's what it's looking like.
Yes.
So.
I wasn't writing down the number.
I love reading of it.
Yes.
So
Uh-huh.
are we,
You should-
they may very well, if they didn't get the whole thing, they may very well say, well,
And that's one thing you might say,
Yeah.
well, on any part of it.
yeah.
But you notice that there's 2 separate things,
Yeah,
not one project. Doing both at the
Let's
same
take a whirl at awarding it, each one to the lowest responsible, and then see if maybe they'll say, well, if we don't have the whole thing, we wouldn't do it.
okay, so if that's the case, HMA will get the resurfacing portion of it,
Right.
and Carver will get the
Painting line.
painting the lines.
But these are 2 separate bids. They should, as making the bid, they're they're supposed to accept.
Yeah.
And what
Whichever they're awarded, they weren't a combined bid.
That's right, that's why I just.
I mean, she read, one was in June and one was in July.
Well, yeah, because
So,
we rebid them.
We had to rebid it because
Yeah, 'cause
nobody did
nobody-
it the first time.
Nobody did
So-
it.
So,
We had to rattle some chains to get people even interested.
I would say we do that if somebody wants to make a motion to.
Right.
to-
Yeah, I'll make that motion. Do we?
Motion by Brian, second by John. Any further discussion?
We're gonna rebid it.
No, we're gonna split the bid, split the lowest responsibility for each section of it. Any other questions? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Right.
Opposed? Carried. Okay. You got that, Pam? You know that?
Yes, I did.
Okay, we'll, all right, report of officers, town clerk.
Clerk's monthly report. Commercial fireworks of $75, marriage license fees of $35, clerk fees of $4, public health fees, certified copies of $70, landfill is $26,223. Short-term rentals, $300. Dog licensing is $156. Building permits is $171. Septic permits is $10. Total local shares remitted is $27,044.
Supervisors report, total monies on hand, $3,744,957.50. Assessor.
Assessment report for July in accordance with New York State real property tax laws. The final rolls for 2025 have been completed and were made available to the public on Tuesday, July 1st. Newspaper ad was placed in the Post-Star on July 1st, it's stating same. Notice has been placed in town clerk's and assessor's bulletin board for town hall. 2025 assessment rolls to be viewed in either town clerk's or assessor's offices during business hours. They're also accessible online via the link on the town website, the Warren County's website, where the rolls may be reviewed. 2025 equalization rate for the town is at 100%, respectively. Similar.
Okay, Justice.
Justice Fisk had 58 cases, $3,404.55 in fines, $210 fee, $1,398 surcharge. Judge Ferrillo, 73 cases, $4,859 in fine, $242.50 in fee, surcharge $2,515. Total new cases in June, 125, total received in June, $12,629. Total town share is $5,150.
Okay, planning.
Planning, there were 1 septic and 5 land use and development permits issued the month of June, and the planning board nor the zoning board have meetings this month due to lack of applications.
Okay, enforcement.
Report for the month of June. Traveled numerous areas of the town after no mow May. On June 3rd, sent out 26 notices for grass over heights. Issued a stop work order of 37 Cloverleaf Drive wall was being constructed without a permit. Reviewed the APA decision on property 15-1-18. Prior subdivision was not legal as per the APA. Referred to contractor to Warren County Building Codes over plumbing concerns. Reviewed the notice to shut off the power at 4112 State Route 9 from National Grid. Sending warning notice to the owner of 27 Hastings Street for a junkyard. There's 3 non-roadworthy vehicles on the property. June 10th, sent out 10 notices for grass over heights. A total of 54 have been sent out since June 3rd. Was in court with the owner of 278 Schooner River Road. The case was adjourned until July 9th. Issued 1 short-term rental permit. Issued commercial fireworks displays for Camp Echo Lake for July 3rd and Corns Golf Course July 4th. Met with the owner of 26 Smith Street to discuss the grass notice he received. Went to 177 Forest Lake Road, complained of garbage at a short-term rental. Owner was sent a violation notice after the site visit. Contractors mowing the following properties: 10 Industrial Park, 5 Henry Street, 133 River Street, 193 River Street, 38 River Street, 7 South Avenue at the Health Tavern, 85 Library Avenue. These will continue to be mowed as per town statute by the contractor until the property owner notifies the town board in writing as to their intent to meet the town codes. Replied to complaint of noise at 15 South Avenue. The property is a short-term rental. The complaining party was advised to call the police, get a report, and turn it into the town. If the report supports the violation, enforcement action will be taken. Expected a septic installation at Grasshopper Gardens on Route 28. It was installed as designed. Photos were taken and placed in the file.
Highway.
Highway prepared by Pete Badarian, July 1st. Report details the month of June. We have completed mowing. Pole barn project is almost complete. We have trimmed brush around signs, turns, and intersections. We have done basic maintenance to our paved and dirt roads. We have started getting the crossroads prepared to be repaved in August. We responded to 4 emergency calls for trees and washouts.
Okay, the following reports when we receive them will be posted on the website: beautification, landfill, Historia, museum, Parks and Rec, and sewer water. And in the water, I'd like to mention that we have a 2-hour water ban in place. It's not, our water table is holding its own, but we're not gaining on our water. So we're very concerned about that. So we ask everybody to please adhere to the 2-hour water ban. Many people are not doing that. We've started going out, putting door knockers on doors to remind people that, you know, you can water for 2 hours, which is plenty of time to get you on. But that's our concern in the water. Sewers, routine maintenance, and Parks and Rec, they've been keeping up with the mowing and weed whacking. So they've done a pretty good job. The heat has kind of killed the grass in a lot of areas, but we'll keep our eye on that. So, did I miss anything, Tracy?
Appreciate it.
Okay. Okay, communications. We received a thank you notice from Mohawk Chevrolet. We purchased 2 new pickup trucks off county contract from Mohawk Chevrolet. Okay, we had our public hearing on the main part of was the parking amendment. You have a resolution in there to make this section of road to regulate vehicle traffic and parking on this river road. And we have to amend Chapter 198 of Vehicle and Traffic Law in order to do that. So that's what we have here to adopt tonight, if you would like to move forward with that. And then we'll continue to see if we can work on the buses traveling that road. But we've been promised enforcement if we pass this part of our code, if we make this amendment to our code. So I believe our fine is set for $125, correct?
It's the same as it
Yeah,
was.
it's
We did not change.
$125. It's $125 for a parking ticket. We're just adding that section of the road, and especially around the circle parking area.
I think if you're gonna consider, you I think should put on the record that you are not adding section A, which deals with the weights. deleted that, but that was what was noted.
Yeah, that's never on this resolution. So
The
this is,
resolution says it's adopting what was public.
Hmm.
The resolution said it was adopting this, which had the weight limit. So you guys said you weren't doing weight limit, so I think the record should show that section A, dealing with weight limit, is being deleted.
yeah, I didn't read that on here. Okay. So what's the pleasure of the board tonight to get started on this?
Move forward with the adoption of it.
Parking,
Yeah, with the deletion of the weight.
Yeah.
the weight limit,
Take it out.
yeah, I don't see that on here about.
It wasn't under local law?
No.
You have a later.
We're talking about it last month.
This is the
The local law that we sent you.
Yeah, that was the whole.
I didn't see it, I don't have it.
well, this is the resolution. I don't get the local law.
Oh, yeah, I didn't have the law, I have
This
this.
is, I can show you what
Okay.
I had that we sent. Yeah, I wrote all.
Yeah, the point of this was
It had
the weight
The weight limit,
limit.
and you had said in your notes.
Yeah, we
that
want
You were
to,
gonna delete that.
just do
You're
B.
only doing.
But B, it's the weight limit and speed limit.
So it's just B,
B.
getting rid of it.
Yeah. We're gonna bypass A for the present time, if that's the pleasure of the board.
And you can delete that. Yes. Yeah, let's do that.
Let's do that. Yeah. See how it goes.
Yeah, just the speed limit.
And the parking.
Yeah,
John?
absolutely.
So we have a motion by John, second by Brian to do the speed limit and parking. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, I apologize, I didn't have that portion of it. I don't know where that happened. So, and then we will work with the tubing company to try to alleviate the tubes blocking the road, or the buses blocking the road. We plan on getting there in the next couple of weeks to work with them. And we'll look at our
That's all I
parking.
could ask for. That's all I could ask for.
Well,
It's a mess up there.
we're gonna come to a compromise, I know we are. Both parties want to work it out, and I think that's the best way to do it.
That's awesome.
All right. Okay, next, I have an intermunicipal agreement between the towns of Warrensburg, Bolton, and Lake George, and thank you for coming. And for the dog control services. As you know, we've had issues. John Arnold took over the dog control on a basis last year. And it really hasn't worked out. His time running with the emergency squad and other things that he's involved in, it hasn't really worked out. So we have found that Florence Converse from Chestertown is willing to take on our towns. I've been working with supervisor for Lake George and the supervisor for Bolton, and we would act as a lead town in this thing. It'll be sort of like the shared services agreement we already have with assessing, and we used to have with bookkeeping. And Luzerne is also going to use Mrs. Converse, but she's going to be a separate employee for the town of Lake Luzerne for the time being. So we have this agreement. It's structured after all our other intermunicipal agreements. So I just need permission tonight for us to accept it and for me to sign it and send it along to Bolton and Lake George. So what's the pleasure, board? Motion by Brian, do we have a second? Second by Robert to sign the intermunicipal agreement for the dog control. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay.
Thank John Arnold for stepping up.
Yeah, I did thank John. John did step up. We just didn't work out. And he's too busy really to be doing this, so. And I do have a commitment from Luzerne and Lake George. At the last board meeting or two board meetings ago, we had a question about 11 Grand Avenue, about zone change. In your packet tonight, you'll find a letter that we're sending to Mr. Del Licio about what he needs to do to bring that in front of the board. It should be in your packet. It's supposed to be in everybody's packet.
Put it in the back. I put it in the back, it's in the back.
Oh, it's in the back of your packet. It's just for your information only. We were wanting to get that letter out. And Patty Corlew has signed the letter for us.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, I need a resolution request to waive the $25 permit fee for Michelle Roselle of Queensbury, who was approved to set up her ice cream and hot dog cart at our weekly band concerts. So somebody want to make a motion to waive the fee? Motion by John, second by Jock, to waive the $25 permit fee. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Next, I have a resolution request to support Warren County's application to the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation Climate Smart Communities Grant Program for a municipal culvert inventory and assessment, and express intent to provide local matching funds if grant is awarded. And the local matching funds for each of the communities who take part in this would be $6,240. And what planning department is working with each one of the town highways and the county highway department is to identify all the culverts in the county, and then we'll map it if we get a grant award. And this will only move forward if they are awarded the money for the grant. So the county asked us if we would sign on. I thought it was a great idea to have all our culverts mapped. So I just need, if you're okay with that, I just need a motion by Brian, second by John. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, now we have 3 resolution requests from the Warrensburg Chamber of Commerce. First, permission to host the 45th Annual World's Cars Garage Sale, October 4th through the 6th, and to waive the major local event fee of $150,000. That would be one resolution. Motion by Brian, second. Second by John.
Yeah, sure.
To waive it. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Next resolution, request from Warrensburg Chamber of Commerce, allow Chamber of Commerce to use town properties for the 45th Annual World's Largest Garage Sale. Properties request to use at 3797 Main Street, that's the town hall, in the Richards Avenue parking lot. Motion by John, second by Brian. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. Next would be resolution to allow the town hall to close at that Friday of the garage sale because the vendors use this whole area. We've always tried to stay open until noon and do permits. That really doesn't work out. The vendors are chomping at the bit to get us out of here. And so last year, we made everybody get in here before Thursday to get their permits. I think it's a better thing, and it avoids a lot of chaos on Friday. So I need a resolution to allow us to close that day. John? John? Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, next I had a request from Warren County Employment Activities Committee. They're asking to use one of our fields at the recreation field for a kickball game on July 17th, starting at 6 p.m.
Sure.
John? Second? Brian? Discussion?
Can you
All
video
those-
that?
Huh?
I wanted to videotape that, that'd be
You
funny.
can come down, you can probably participate.
I don't know.
I
I don't know about that.
You can fill in for me. We have a motion, second, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Did you want to talk about the Tom Kubricki?
Oh, yeah,
Go over it.
we'll get to it.
Okay, sorry. Sorry.
I lost my head there, Bob.
Sorry.
Yeah. What did I do? Oh, yeah. No, I had Kubricki checked already. Okay, resolution to accept the bid of Town Kubricki Company Incorporated, Town of Warrensburg Water Project, Phase 2, based on the recommendation of the town engineer. The bid price of this project is $209,459. And this is mainly for, to install a water line on Jenny Joe Loop. It needs to be installed. It's a 1-inch line up there. There's not enough capacity to really service the homes that are on there. And the second part of this will be also to replace the valves near the water tank and also hire probably a subcontractor to go in and look at the tank and all this stuff. But the main thing is Tom Kubricki Construction was low bid on the water portion of it. So,
ETA, Kevin, any idea when they can start the project at all?
well, I assume when they have the materials, it's always materials that holds up the project, so.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by John, second,
Nothing.
second by Robert. Any further discussion? And this is all paid for, this is by grant funds, so this actually doesn't come out of, well, it comes out of our coffers, but it's a part of the WIA grant that we got a couple of years ago. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Yeah, I'm going to abstain on that.
Okay. Resolution request to enter into agreement Warrensburg EMS for services for the year 2025. This is oversight on my part by not getting the contract. I read it over and basically it's the same contract that we had at the beginning of this other year. There's hardly anything missing out of it. I got it today from the attorneys and this takes effect January 1st of this prior year. So, any discussion?
Do we have copy of this?
Everything should have been in your, everything was given to the clerk, you put in your folder.
Yeah, some break.
There's a red line version.
Okay. I haven't had a chance to read it. So.
And the red line version does have a blank before you have to
It should
fill
have,
out
where's
how much you
the
paid them in
other one,
February.
Pam?
I
know it ain't
didn't have
got
this number. That was on the last page. Or second last.
Paperclip,
Sorry,
take the paperclip off, you got two.
it was on page 5.
I gotta read this. I mean, I gotta have an opportunity to read this.
It's basically the same as the other one.
And you have to insert how much you paid them for this year, which
Yeah.
as a member you have. And they
Yeah, he has only the red line, the other one.
he should have the schedule of fees that they charge is supposed to be
That's
attached
one.
as an exhibit. So you've got to get the schedule of fees. Probably the same one as 2023. Or if they change, you have to approve and they attach them. That's how you approve that.
Well, reading that over, next item is set a public notice for open session August 13th to talk about the Main Street project. And M&J Engineering, they put together a good project on our Main Street with recommendations on what we need to do to improve our Main Street. I've been through the report and we'll be able to show the rest of the board and the community. I think they make a lot of good suggestions on how to improve our Main Street, how to improve some of the parking on our Main Street. And I think it's obviously everything that they would propose, that we would approve, would have to go to DOT. It may be done in my lifetime, but I'm not really sure. But so we're gonna do that next board meeting at 7 o'clock. If you're all set.
Absolutely, yes.
So,
I'm familiar with that EMS thing.
Did you do this contract?
Yeah, we did the contract, yes.
Why are you taking out record of review and proposals will be available on the press? Why is that being taken out?
the what now?
Tell me why this is being taken out.
What's
It's
that?
in red, right? If it's in red, it's not.
In red is adding unless there's lines through the words. The taking out is on the page 1.
use of monies received from the town in accordance with this agreement.
Okay, on page 2.
Records of review and deposits will be available on request. That's in red. Does that mean it's taken out?
On which page do you want?
Huh?
Which page do you want?
4, and letter I,
Okay. That is added,
that is added.
yes.
So, and red is added?
Red with a line through it is deleted. We have 2 places where that happened, on
Okay.
page 2 and on page 1. You can see, page 1 was the same language, was just repeated, so that needs to be repeated. On page 2, we have to attach the exhibit A is the fee schedule, that's what I said. For the EMS to have legal authority to charge fees when they have a contract with the town, we have to approve their fee schedule. They usually give it to us based on what their medical billing company suggests to the area, but that has to be officially approved by the town. We changed how that language was on page 2. We went back to what we had in 2023.
So you're saying the fee schedule doesn't have to be,
It
has to be attached to our contract.
And that's how you approve it.
We will approve it, when we approve the contract, the fee
It's
schedule
not-
has to be attached, what's your charge?
And it's not supposed to be changed until the town board
It can't be
approves
changed
it.
unless we approve it.
You can either, when you adopt the next.
It was on their other
Yeah.
contract, the original one.
So,
I
and the language that you were saying on page 4, that was added. That was in our 2023. That's part of what the town has the right to ask for, as the funding entity.
is the fee schedule in this?
I didn't have that. It needs
We
to be-
didn't get the new one because this is not approved yet. We'll have it before, if we approve this contract, it'll be attached to it.
So we're approving a fee schedule, we don't even know what the fee schedule is.
I don't have it, you guys approve it, you need to, if it's different than what you did in 2023, you guys should review and approve. But you're approving it by attaching it to the contract. So the resolution says that you're adopting the contract, we need to have the Schedule A with the fee schedule attached to it. And
Because
you guys need to approve it. If you're uncomfortable with signing it until you see it, they already have the money. We can do this next month.
well, I'm just saying, I mean, if you're gonna do a contract and
I don't have the
approve
exhibit.
fee schedule, you would think it would be part of
Yes,
what we're voting on, wouldn't you? I mean, I would.
perfectly reasonable if you want to get a copy of that. If you want to postpone it a month,
What do you want to do?
John, you can get it.
You make a motion for it?
So with the same fee schedule as 2023?
We have a motion, we have a second to approve the contract. Any further discussion? The language is basically the same as the one we already have.
Well, no matter what I do, I'm gonna be outvoted. So.
Well, you want to also up?
I think we need to see the fee schedule.
We'll get a fee schedule.
I-
Let's do a voice vote.
Are you adopting it with the same fee schedule as 2023?
Great.
If
Okay,
they changes,
you'll
we'll
have to
bring
come
it back
back.
again and we'll make a change.
So that might give you confidence, it's what they were approved in 2023.
The fee schedule of 2023
It was attached to that.
is involved, is included in this stuff?
They just said that they're going to attach that same fee schedule as the Schedule A for this. And if when the emergency
Do a voice vote, please.
gets it, and it's different, you'll have to approve that.
It has to
next
come back here if it's changed.
Councilperson Alexander?
Yes.
Councilperson Brown?
Yes.
Councilperson Sullivan?
Yes,
Councilperson Quintal?
Yes.
Thank you. Who's first and second?
Yeah, right.
Brian and John. Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot.
That's okay.
Supervisor Garrett. Yes,
Yes.
thank you.
Let's pay some bills.
Okay, bills tonight, bills total $593,858.96. Motion to approve the warrants. What's the matter, you scared?
That's a lot, though. I'll second it.
Motion by John, seconded by Brian to pay the warrants tonight at $593,858.96. Any discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Okay. All right, any public comments? Anybody wish to address the board on anything tonight before we close? Anything? Any questions? I have two announcements. Reminder, everybody, the Smoke Eaters Jamboree is the 25th and 26th of July. And also band concerts are every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. at the Recreation Field. Entertainment for tonight is the Little Zippers. If you get over there, you can catch a couple of their acts. Up next week will be a country band, John Deere Green. So that's my announcement. Anybody else have any announcements for tonight? No, it was a busy weekend in town last weekend. And we've got a lot, we still got a lot going on. It looks like the Gold Street project has wrapped up. Looks like the pole barn is wrapping up. So we'll be moving on to these the next big project will be the crosswalk on Richards Avenue, and then the paving of that parking lot, which I believe Hudson Headwaters is gonna pay for us to pave that parking lot. And then the water line. And we're investigating a new well. And it looks like that potentially it could be up by the fish factory for a new water well. It was something I really want to get done before fall. So, anybody else? Anybody, one more time, anybody else wish to address this tonight? Welcome back, Robert.
Good to see you.
Good to
Thanks
see
for
you
letting me
back
come
in the
back.
So, okay, motion adjourned. We are adjourned. Thank you.
You'll see me some more at the end of the year.
You won't change the law.
Jackie's birthday, yeah.
She down.
It will be at the end of the year, this summer.
I can't approach the bench.
Is that a country?
Is it?
Because I'm taking a lesson there, right? And I come from work and I don't have a car to share. I'm like, oh my God. So I had to run in. I mean, I played there, but I had to run into the house and buy.
Berliner? Scott?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah.
You know, and realistically, like I've seen him twice and it's already made a difference. Listen, I love the place. Listen, I love Tommy Jukes too. So, you know, but listen, I get it. I was over there. I've driven that road. And, you know, it's got nothing to do.
2021. Eric Hamill's business owner.
Yeah.
Ran it for 19 years. He had 2 bus companies using that road for 15 years. Now there's one. Very good job.
Listen, it's a,
Just to let you know, last weekend, we normally run 6 trips. I ran 4 just to get off the road at 1 o'clock. Lost money, didn't care till it's about to get.
what we're talking about is that same type of thing. You know, it's like it's not, nobody wants anybody to get hurt, and nobody wants you to stop doing what you're doing, because as a family, we've been done so.
That's what I was.
Like he said, it's bringing attention to it. Okay, and then as a smart business person, which you absolutely are, because you run the, you look at, it changes. And you listen, you don't want to be
That's why I just wanted to
involved.
introduce myself.
That's why you don't want to involve yourself in any kind of thing like that. That's incredible. That, listen, as a person, you can't say anything about a business owner. So you tell me, listen, and the thing is, though, is you have to understand, you know, he came, I get it, but you bring it to attention, and somebody who's smart makes changes without having the goal.
Correct.
The full rate of anything, and that's all you're looking to do. No, I mean, obviously, I understand, he wants the end result right now.
Correct.
You know, in the business world, you give them the opportunity to make a change. If you decide not to make that change, but you've already done something, July 4th has got to be the busiest time.
It is. I mean,
My family owns Oscar.
$10,000 that week.
My family owns Oscar.
That's nothing
No,
else.
that's the
Yes.
piece.
Yeah, we understand. I understand what July 4th is absolutely.
That
I
blue
get it.
cheese almost killed
So
me the other
free.
day.
So if you.
I had it at the pizza
Make-
shop.
Oh, yeah, on the.
Yeah,
pizza.
Giovanni was like, "You got to try this," and I was like,
Oh, it's pungent.
That's
for
like-
sure. It's strong.
"Yes."
But
So
you
I
being-
already did something.
That's what I'm saying. So usually in that situation, if
Yeah,
you're
we're
this
just
person,
moving away.
generally saying, doesn't have that mindset.
You may be
We're all business owners. We understand if we put something to you, and you're a smart enough business, you're gonna make sure you've already done that. It's only gonna get,
So wait,
it's only gonna
you
get
own
better.
Oscars.
My family owns Oscar. I
So
run it right now.
Do you want to know what makes me so happy? Your vending machine. I have this
Well-
weird obsession with vending machines,
Well,
and I'm like, that cracks
Well,
me
right
up.
now it's broken. Well, right now
Oh.
it hasn't been working for a while, but I have the new one that is going to be in place at some point. It's
And
like.
Were
it's
people like,
Oh my, listen, I had people stopping here just for selfies, number one. Number two, I was selling beef jerky at 2 o'clock in the morning to anybody who
Yeah.
was sober enough to drive up Raymond Lane and put their money in the thing. But the new one that will be coming at some point is almost like a giant iPad. It's like when you step up to it and notices you're there, I'll come on the screen and say, hey, thanks for coming to our vending machine. And it's unbelievable. From where we were to where we're going, it's like tenfold. And that first one was very profitable. I mean, it was my best employee.